And welcome everyone to the fourth annual No Credentials Required Thanksgiving special presented by Belly Up Sports, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports. We're proudly presented by Belly Up Sports. My name is Ryan McCarthy. I'm one of the hosts. To my right is a man who is definitely not a turkey. He might be a turducken. Dustin Henry. Dustin, how we doing today?
I'm doing all right. I mean, I am fired up. Thanksgiving, I've been very vocal about it. Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday. As I get older, I appreciate it more and more. Hopefully, you're spending time with your friends and loved ones today. And I'm really excited to be doing this with you. We got something special planned for you. How are you, sir?
I'm doing all right. I'm looking forward to sitting down with family and loved ones today. And it's an honor and a privilege to be able to put together this annual special. And if you look at our headlines down here, if you noticed, we're doing a shout out to a particular Thanksgiving movie that is absolutely legendary. And it's a classic. It's a classic for the both of us. If you guess what it is, pop it in the comments section below. We'll give you a special shout out on the next edition of No Credentials Required. But in the meantime, what we're going to talk about today, we're going to preview the 3 Thanksgiving Day games. Actually, I say 2 Thanksgiving Day games, 1 Thanksgiving evening game, and we'll also preview the Black Friday afternoon game that's going to happen as well. And we'll also talk about the Netflix documentary. Yes, we're late. We don't care.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about react to the Netflix documentary, America's Team, the Gambler and His Cowboys, because the Cowboys playing Thanksgiving. Who else do we want? Who else are we going to talk about on Thanksgiving Day?
Yeah, this is one of our worst kept secrets, but we were excited about doing this episode when we had our production meeting all those months ago.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I can still taste that Detroit style pizza.
Delicioso.
But today is not about pizza. It is about all your favorite things from Thanksgiving: turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing, all those things. We're going to talk about all those things, and we got a little special presentation at the end that we've put together from some of the crew at Belly Up Sports. But before we get to everything, I just want to remind you to follow us. Follow No Credentials Required on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Just search for No Credentials Required. You can also find additional content and podcasts at bellyupsports.com. On the podcast side, subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, and that includes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, iHeart, TuneIn, Pandora, and our home, which is on Podbean, Freshly Brewed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on Twitter and on YouTube so you know when we are live. We're doing live shows where we're putting together show announcements, or we're posting a video to our YouTube channel. Rate, review, subscribe. 5-star rating would be helpful. Review the show. Give us a review of the show on wherever you can leave a review on a podcast, like Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, Podchaser. You can also comment on the most recent episode of No Credentials Required on Spotify, and you can also leave a comment in the comment section on the Belly Up Sports YouTube channel, which is usually where our video presentations are replayed. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We're not a live show today. We're just doing it. We're doing a pre-recording because we want people to enjoy our time with our family. So we're not going to play our usual chime time sound. But yeah, leave your comments in the comment section. What's your favorite Thanksgiving tradition? Who do you got in today's games, which we're going to talk about right now. And the first game we're going to talk about is the Packers at the Lions, visiting the Lions in an important NFC North matchup. That is the 1 p.m. game on Thanksgiving Day in Detroit. I can remember a couple seasons ago when the Packers went into Detroit. In Detroit, this is when Detroit was starting to get.
Yeah.
Everybody was starting to notice Detroit. Everybody was starting to notice the Lions. This was also Jordan Love's first season as full-time starter of the Packers, and he put together a special game. And then the Lions, the Packers, wound up taking that victory home from the Motor City. So interesting circumstances, a lot in this game to factor. Both teams are currently chasing the Chicago Bears for first place in the NFC North, which is, again, if you had the Bears in first place this far into the season, in week 13 in the 2025 season. I would have to call you a liar. And I'm pretty much sure you have to call yourself a liar too. But let's talk quickly about this game, Dustin. What do you see in this game?
Oh man, I mean, to me, this is the best game on the slate. You know, this is a pivotal divisional matchup here, and I'm going to go out. I'm not going to predict score, but I predict the Lions will win this one, and I'm going to tell you why. One, they have Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, I don't know if Josh Jacobs is going to play for this game. As of now, we still don't know. There may be more information that comes out. I think he may play, was the last I heard. But Jahmyr Gibbs, after the game, that I will say that a large reason why I'm picking the Lions to win this game, they had a very close call last week against the Giants, and I think it kind of scared them.
Yep.
And also they're at home, so they don't have to worry about any of the elements.
Nope.
They're used to playing in the dome. I think Jared Goff will look better than he's looked in the past couple of games, because the Packers defense at times has looked dominant, and at other times they've looked, beatable, for lack of a better term. So I think if the Giants offensive line, who apparently Frank Ragnow is coming out of retirement to play center for the Lions.
Wow.
I don't know if he will be ready in time for this game, but come on into the Discord if you're not in there. I've been breaking news today, but man, I think that I just have a feeling about the Lions in this one. Offensively, I think Dan Campbell's going to get them right since he took over the play calling duties. I think they have too many weapons to spread the field. They have Jamison Williams, they have Amon-Ra St. Brown, they have Jahmyr Gibbs, and they have Montgomery, who they still like to use when they need to convert or they're in close. I think it's going to be slightly too much for the Packers. It's going to be a close game, but I think Detroit takes this one.
Yeah, it's a 3-point spread right now, and the over-under is 47.5 as we record on Wednesday. I'm more reticent to say that I think you can see the Packers spoil Thanksgiving once again for the Lions. We saw this a couple of seasons. Like I said, we saw this a couple seasons ago. Jordan Love comes into Detroit. Nobody's really giving him a shot, and he turns around and he surprises just about everybody. Yeah. And this was the team that went on to the wild card, beat the brakes off the Cowboys in the wild card round, and took the 49ers to the limit in the NFC divisional. So this game on Thanksgiving really catapulted them to the level that we're used to seeing them now.
Mm-hmm.
As of right now, Josh Jacobs will be returning on Thanksgiving Day for the Green Bay Packers, which is going to be, it's going to change a lot of things. It's going to change a lot of things for this Packers team, especially on offense. We've seen Josh Jacobs break off a few runs over the last couple of seasons since becoming a Packer from coming over from the Raiders. And I think this could make a big difference. Now, like you mentioned about this Packers defense, sometimes they've looked superhuman. They did so last week against the Vikings. They picked off J.J. McCarthy a couple times, and he's not been playing the way that most Vikings fans could. Most Vikings fans hoped that he would be, but then again, this is his first year as a starter. Year as a starter, you're going to have growing pains. Every quarterback has growing pains in their first full season. But getting back to this game, I think the pass rush of the Packers could make the difference between a win and a loss for them, because we saw what the Giants could do to Jared Goff. They got to him a couple times this past on Sunday afternoon. They got to Jared Goff. They were giving the Lions fits on the offensive line. The Giants were playing to that strength of their defensive line, their edges. Brian Burns, Abdul Carter, Dexter Lawrence on the inside. You've already got yourself some Micah. You've already got yourself Micah Parsons, who's a game breaker. He is to the Packers what Myles Garrett is for the Browns. You got Micah Parsons on the right side. You got Rashawn Gary on the left side, and they already have a great secondary as well. So I know our friend in the show, Julie, one of our credits, Julie from Michigan, is going to swear me out when she hears this. But I'm going to take the Pack. I'm going to go with the Packers in this game.
Man, it's been a while since we've been on opposite sides of the game here.
Yeah.
This should be fun.
Yeah, it should be fun. I don't know. We're not playing for any prizes. We're just playing because it's fun.
It's a matter of pride, Brian.
That's right. That's right. All right, we're going to move on to the second game of the afternoon, and that is the Chiefs at the Cowboys, 4:30 p.m. Eastern start. And the hyperbole around this game is just ridiculous. This is the greatest. This is the game of the century right here. Like, how is it the game of the century? Both teams are outside of a wild card berth right now. Like maybe 30 years ago when the Chiefs were 11-1 coming into Thanksgiving, playing the Cowboys, who were prospective. They were prospective Super Bowl contenders. They went to the Super Bowl that year. The Chiefs did not. They failed in the divisional. But that was a heck of a game too. There's a lot at stake in this game for both teams. Now, is it going to be the game of the century? No, we're only in 2025. Is it going to be a good game? Absolutely. This is going to be a very good game. It's going to be a very competitive game between both teams. And I think based on what happened last week with the Eagles, with the Cowboys coming back from that 21-0 deficit, I think they're going to carry a lot of that momentum into this game against the Chiefs. Now, granted, the Chiefs defense, they're nothing to sniff at either. They're a great defense. They held the Indianapolis Colts in check, allowed only 58 yards rushing to Jonathan Taylor last week against Indianapolis at home. However, this is a much more dynamic offense. They have weapons. They've got CeeDee Lamb, who hasn't been great this year, but that's okay. George Pickens has picked up the slack.
Yes.
In more ways than one. And the Cowboys defense is starting to establish itself over the last couple of weeks. Even after they gave up 21 points in the first half, they seem to put it together. The defense forced a fumble. Their special teams forced a fumble. So now, will they duplicate that performance? I don't think so, but this is going to be, I think this game is going to be a lot lower scoring than what it seems to be. Kansas City's favored by 3, but the over-under is 52.5. But I'm going to take, based on last week's result, both teams coming in with a huge win, with both huge comeback wins, but I think the momentum is going to be on the Cowboys side, and I'm going to take the Cowboys in this game. How about you, Dustin? Who are you taking?
Man, Ryan, on this, I thought I was going to be an outlier, but I agree. This is a coin flip game for me, though. But there's something about the Cowboys this year. I'm not saying they're a great team, but they're an improving team. And guess what? This Chiefs team is a more beatable team than we've seen in a lot of years. We don't know what Travis Kelce has left. He can still score touchdowns. Xavier Worthy, what's been going on with him? He's the fastest player ever at the combine. He is invisible in this offense. And then everybody kept saying, oh, the Chiefs are going to get it going when they have Rashee Rice back. They have him back now. He's their number one guy, but you know where Dallas has the edge? They have the edge in the running game. Defensively, I'd probably still give the edge to the Chiefs. But I think that as long as the Cowboys offensive line can protect Dak enough, you mentioned it, Ryan, George Pickens, all Dak has to do this year is circus throw it up there, and 9 times out of 10, Pickens is going to come down with it. Now, I'm not a Chiefs fan. I don't know enough about their corners, but I don't know that the Chiefs corners can stack up with the 2 Cowboys wide receivers, because CD down year still by his standards, but CD still CD, and you got George Pickens on the other side now. I give Dallas the advantage in this game. Like I said, the Chiefs have better defense overall. I would still take the Chiefs defense over the Cowboys, but the Cowboys have the advantage in the running game. And like you said, I think momentum is with the Cowboys right now after that massive win. And Dak's been consistent this year. He's going to throw a couple picks, but he also has shown the ability to throw enough touchdowns to get them out of trouble.
Absolutely. I think that this is, like I said, this is going to be a close game.
Yeah.
It's been a closer game than everybody thought. Tony Romo's going to be going nuts because Dak Prescott and Patrick Mahomes are going to be slobbering all over their play which again we're accustomed to when it comes to Tony Romo and his performance on as a play-by-play, or excuse me, the color commentator for these games. But hey, that's what makes Thanksgiving Day special. It's these kind of matchups that make it special. And we're gonna move on to Thanksgiving night at 8:20 Eastern. The Cincinnati Bengals visit the Baltimore Ravens. I think this game could be it's an under the radar game for me.
Yeah.
Because Joe Burrow, are we going to see Joe Burrow? We missed him last week. He didn't make the 4:00 deadline. He is active. He is on the active roster. He has been activated, and he is expected to start, which is going to be awesome because that means we're going to have the old-fashioned AFC North duel between Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson. And some of these games have been classics over the last couple seasons.
Yes.
This game, I think, could also be a hidden classic as well. We talked about the Bengals and their struggles on defense. They put, after a bye week, they put things together against New England. They couldn't get together on offense with Jamar Chase being out of the lineup. Higgins had a concussion. As far as I know, I haven't heard whether or not he's going to be missing this game. Nope, I'm sorry. He is going to be out, as is Trey Hendrickson this game. So,
man.
But Joe Burrow's going to have Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is going to be back from his 1-game suspension. He was contrite. He apologized. And see, that's why you don't spit on people. Because somebody's recording.
There's cameras everywhere, Jamar.
Yes, there's cameras everywhere. The Ravens, we've noted that the Ravens are getting healthier. They're getting healthy at the right time. They had those early season struggles. We thought John Harbaugh was in the hot seat. Well, I'm sorry. You thought John Harbaugh was in the hot seat.
I did.
And they've won 5 in a row. So this is a Ravens team with a lot of momentum coming in at home on Thanksgiving night. So for my money's worth, I'm going to go with the Ravens. They're actually favored by 7. I think the Bengals cover, though. But that's just me. I think the Ravens get their 6th consecutive win. And I think they're on their way to grabbing that brass ring in the AFC North again. The Bengals, I think they're going to put in a good effort, but I think they'll fall just short. Dustin, how about you?
All right, Ryan. I'm going to go, now that we know that old Joe Burrow is going to be in there, I'm going to say, like you said, he has Jamar, and losing Trey Hendrickson is huge for an already not great Bengal defense. But if you look at the Ravens offense, Derrick Henry, he's still Derrick Henry. He can do things, but Lamar has not looked like himself, and there's speculation that Lamar is playing through an injury, might be still hurt because he's not looking to run, which is partially what makes Lamar so dangerous. Now, I don't think the Bengals are going to be able to generate enough pressure, but again, Derrick Henry is amazing, but the receiving game for the Ravens hasn't been great. Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, they haven't really been getting it done. DeAndre Hopkins, the signing didn't seem to work out. Zay Flowers, nobody is really emerging as an number 1 pass threat. And so as a result, the offense has been Lamar, Derrick Henry, and some timely throws to Mark Andrews. And if Lamar is not using half of his game, I'm going to give the edge because Joe Burrow is going to be motivated. He's going to be coming off. He's going to want to prove something. He's got his number 1 guy, and Chase Brown has picked it up over the last few games. And also Mike Gesicki, I think, is back at tight end for the Bengals in this one. That's big. That gives them another target. I got a feeling I'm picking the Bengals in this one. It's going to be a close one. I think it's going to be a better game than people realize. But I'm picking the Bengals to upset the Ravens here.
Okay. I like your thinking. Like where you're going. We're going to move on to the last game of the 2 days, the Thanksgiving holiday. That is on Black Friday. We're now entering the Black Friday era for the NFL. I'm not a big fan, but that's okay. It's their league. They can do what they want. Chicago Bears, 8-3. They've won 8 of their last 9. They travel to Philadelphia to face an Eagles team that's also 8-3.
Yes.
Licking their wounds a little bit after surrendering a 21-0 first half advantage to the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday. There are a lot of question marks for the Eagles in this game, coming into this game. Saquon Barkley, he's questionable. Devontae Smith, questionable. Reed Blankenship, questionable. Brandon Graham, questionable. Landon Dickerson, questionable. A lot of questionables for this team, for this Eagles team coming home to face a better than expected Chicago Bears team. And the way that Chicago Bears been playing the last couple months, I would not be surprised if they make an upset in this game. If they put the upset on this game, looking at the schedule here and the odds, the Eagles are actually a 7-point favorite. Really? A 7-point favorite at home?
Man.
I get it. The 3-point swing helps when you're at home, but at the same time, you've got a lot of banged up Eagles.
Yeah.
A lot of question marks coming into this game for the Eagles as to who will play on Friday. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they're relatively healthy. Caleb Williams is becoming I think he's under the tutelage of Ben Johnson, starting to become the quarterback that everybody thought he was going to be when he was drafted. They're protecting him well. You've got a run game with DeAndre Swift and
Kyle Monangai.
You got reliable receivers, Cole Kmet and DJ Moore. Defense is playing. They're stepping up when they need to make a play. We saw it last week in the final series against Pittsburgh. So I'm going to go with the upset here. I'm going to take the Bears in this game. Not to cover, but to win.
Wow. Okay. I like it. And I was almost going to pick the Bears, Ryan. This is the biggest coin flip game to me because you just don't know how the Eagles are going to respond coming in. And like you said, they're coming into this game banged up. However, I feel like the stakes are big enough. The Eagles are going to play, and Jalen's going to want to prove something. Jalen and that Eagles team, they're going to want to prove something after this. And man, hats off to the Bears. Like you said, the running game's been great for them. DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai forming a great two-headed monster. DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, who's the number one receiver on this team. At times, it's looked like they both are. They also have Zacchaeus there, who makes opportunistic catches, and they have that rookie tight end, Colton Loveland, I think, who also exploded. They got a lot of weapons. And I was saying weeks ago, they're one of the most fun teams to watch in the NFL right now because you don't know what you're going to get. They're on a heater. However, there's just some part of me that thinks the Eagles are going to come out on fire. And defensively, I give the edge to the Philadelphia Eagles, despite their monumental collapse last week. And I feel like, man, Jalen, Saquon, I think A.J. Brown's going to play. I think Devontae Smith, I think they're going to play. I think they realize, hey, we got to kind of, as absurd as it sounds, at an 8-3 record, they got to stop the bleeding here. And I think they'll do it. I'm picking the Eagles in this one, but it's going to be a great game. I think the Bears are going to give them a run.
Yeah, you got a lot of teams in the NFC that are seeing the Eagles and they smell blood. The Rams, your Seahawks.
Yeah,
for sure. The Bears. I wouldn't say that anyone in the NFC South is really standing out right now. The Buccaneers are banged up. We don't know what the Panthers are on offense.
Yeah. The Bucs are too banged up. They're the walking wounded next to the Niners in the NFC here.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, we've gone through all the games that are featured on Thanksgiving and Black Friday for the Thanksgiving holiday. We're going to feature more games. We're going to talk about the rest of the Week 13 schedule on Saturday, which is our Saturday show, 10 a.m. Eastern. Join us live. Replays on the Belly Up Sports YouTube channel and on podcast platforms everywhere. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about the Gambler, America's team, the Gambler and His Cowboys. So stand by and stay tuned for more No Credentials Required. This episode of No Credentials Required is brought to you by Invader Coffee. For the coffee lover who wants good, quality coffee with no bullshit and no filler, Invader Coffee is an ultra-premium, veteran-owned coffee company proudly delivering only the best coffee your hard-earned money can buy. They aim to only serve the highest quality, organic, air-roasted coffee beans sourced from free trade farms all over the world. They keep things simple. The best coffee at an affordable price in order to provide you with the value you deserve for your morning boost. 100% fair trade, 100% organic coffee beans, 100% air roasted, 100% money back guarantee. Visit invadercoffee.com, enter promo code BELLYUP at checkout, and receive 15% off your order. Folks, it's Thanksgiving morning. You're coming downstairs, you're walking in the kitchen, and you smell, that wonderful smell of Invader Coffee. Your favorite blend of Invader Coffee on the coffee pot. It's brewing. It's magical. It's a magical feeling. And yeah, you're getting some of the best coffee. I think is the best coffee in the world, shipped to your door. And right now, the holidays are coming up. Black Friday for me is the official start of the Christmas season. And guess what Invader has every single year? They just released them a couple weeks ago. Their holiday blends. The Jolly Java, the Cookie Crumble, which I'm currently enjoying. Not in this mug right now. I'm enjoying some tea right now. But on my mornings, I'm enjoying the Cookie Crumble. And my favorite Christmas blend, probably of all time, no hyperbole, of all time, the Bad Santa.
Man, it's
available.
Delicious.
It is delicious. All available right now at the Invader Coffee website. They don't only have that, but they also have their OG blend, which is their original blend. They got the T-Max Organic, the whiskey blend, and hey, just back in stock, the Wallace Scottish Brandy blend, which is excellent. It is excellent. It's a Scotch. It tastes like butterscotch. That's what it tastes like.
Yeah, it's delicious.
But not only that, but you also have their other authentic blends, like the other original blends, like the Black Heart blend, the authentic Mexican chocolate, the Breaking Case of Emergency. They've got it in whole bean, which I prefer. You've also got it in ground if you prefer it that way too. Not only that, but you can also get they're not in stock right now, but you can get their cold brew, which is also excellent. You can put it in your shake, in your chocolate shake, makes a nice mocha shake. But you could also do some good and buy a bag of coffee for a deployed military member. They do this through the Move America Forward Foundation. Because the last thing you want on the battlefield and in your kitchen on a Thanksgiving morning is a crappy cup of coffee.
Yeah. Yeah. And what better way to thank our service men and women overseas than to buy them a bag of coffee in and on Thanksgiving. What a thing that would be. You know, the best part of waking up, we all know the jingle, but it's not that F word in your cup. It's Invader in your cup. All right.
That's right. And you pay a little bit more for shipping when you order a bag, but guess what? It comes to your door in a matter of days, not a matter of weeks. And it's freshly roasted coffee, 100% air roasted. All of that nasty acidity is taken out. I tried this coffee. I wanted to try this coffee before they became a sponsor of the show. They're the longest running affiliate sponsor of our show, and they're legit. You have 100% money back guarantee, but guess what? You're not going to want to send that. You're not going to want to send it back. You're not going to want your money back. In fact, you're going to order more. And how you can do that is going through our affiliate link in the description. That's our affiliate link. That's how you help our show. But also, you can save 15% off your order with promo code BELLYUP at checkout. So you save a little bit on shipping, you save a little bit on product, and you get to enjoy yourselves some of the best coffee that you'll ever have. So smooth, so delightful. You won't want to put that sugar or milk in your coffee. You can if you want. It's your prerogative. It's a free country. It's veteran owned. They fought for your right to put milk and sugar in your coffee if you want. I don't. And neither does my co-host. But yeah, you can if you want. But it's so smooth, you won't want to put that stuff in your coffee. So go to the link in the description. That's our affiliate link for Invader Coffee. And also save yourself $15% off your order with promo code BELLYUP at checkout. All right. It's Thanksgiving. The Dallas Cowboys are playing the 4:30 slot, but because it's Thanksgiving and they're playing, we have to talk about the Netflix documentary, America's Team, The Gambler and His Cowboys. All about Jerry Jones' purchase of the Cowboys, hiring Jimmy Johnson, the dynasty, the breakup, the eventual crumble of the dynasty, and then we fast forward to today, and what we basically see Jimmy Johnson coming home. So, Dustin, let's start off with your thoughts about this documentary. We're not going to go through every episode. It's an 8-episode documentary. We're not going to go through all 8 episodes. We want you to get to your respective Thanksgivings. So we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on this, but we're going to talk about this documentary, what we thought about this documentary. So let me get your thoughts, Dustin.
All right. I'll lead off with this. And as Ryan said, we're not going through. I took extensive notes on all 8 episodes because you can't once you have the no ticket required mindset, you can't turn it off. But this documentary, I'll give my general thoughts, and at the end, I will recommend whether I think you should watch it or pass it by. And I think you'll be able to gather from my thoughts. The first thing that I will lead off with is I think it does a good job of explaining the Cowboys' history, where they were before Jerry Jones bought the team, and Jerry's rationale. He gets a lot of, it's the Gambler and His Cowboys. Jerry gets a lot of screen time in this documentary, as he should. Mm-hmm. And he kind of explains his rationale at points, making some of the decisions he made and doing some of the things that he did. And spoiler, everybody, if you listen to him talk enough, you start to agree with him on certain things. You're like, I can kind of see that. But then they do a great job of bringing in the other side and having people critique Jerry. This is not a Jerry Jones. There's a lot of love for Jerry Jones in this documentary, but they also go right at some of his shortcomings as owner and also potentially as a human being. Every human is flawed, and Jerry admits that in this documentary. Yep. But generally, I thought it was very well done. And I thought too, their music selections were great. It set the mood. I love the Ecstasy of Gold. I've always loved that song. It's a perfect pick for this. And there's a reason Metallica uses it before they walk out on stage, everybody. It's a great song. But the production value, to me, Ryan, and I'll be interested to see if you agree with me, but this is the first documentary. Yes, it does follow the Last Dance format a little bit because it's done by aspects of the same production company. And also, as we discussed it earlier this summer, that's kind of the bar now for documentaries, as far as I'm concerned. Sports documentaries is the Last Dance format. Yes. But this is the first one I've watched that was kind of emulating that format, but also felt like it was its own thing. It didn't completely go off the format like the Pete Rose documentary. That felt like they were trying to do The Last Dance, and it was a slightly inferior version of The Last Dance. The Captain, you haven't watched it yet, Ryan. I have. They very much were trying to do The Last Dance type of thing. So many trying to do The Last Dance type of things. This is kind of like a nod to The Last Dance, but it also very much had its own identity. And the thing that I was pleasantly surprised, because I'm not a Cowboys fan. As a matter of fact, the Cowboys were one of the teams that I love to root against. I'll say it right here and now. But I thought this was going to be a Cowboys love fest. I turned this thing on, and there is, and it's nice to see the camaraderie, specifically between Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, some of the people that were there. But their rivals get a lot of screen time in this, specifically the 49ers. So it was nice that they got some 49ers to explain the other side. And that it's specifically in the later episodes, they bring in Carmen Policy. And he's talking about how the rest of the NFL felt when Jerry did that exclusivity deal with Nike, and kind of was doing his own thing, Al Davis style a little bit. Carmen Policy kind of laid out the perspective of the rest of the NFL. There's quotable moments all over this documentary. I'll reference just one of them. When I was born, the doctor tried to spank me. I caught his hand. Michael Irvin, he is the one. He comes off as, for me, flawed though he is, and he acknowledges it, and you see, and you're like, man, how did he get away with some of this stuff? He comes off to me as the most human one in this documentary, and you kind of can't help but like Michael. He's very dynamic in this. One thing that I love is when a person's part of the story is kind of over, the lights go out and you kind of see them get up from their chair, and it's like, okay, this part of this era is done. I kind of like that production touch, but the only one who the light never fades on is Jerry. And dare I say it, this documentary humanizes Jerry Jones a little bit,
sure.
and also Jimmy Johnson. It does a great job exploring their dynamic and their whole thing, and through the breakup and everything else. And you mentioned it, Ryan. Jimmy does come home at the end of this documentary. It's a thawing of the ice over the years, and they do a great job of explaining why that ice was there. And I just think I could ramble on about this documentary for so long. There are so many things, but there was one moment where I kind of got a little emotional. It was there's moments in this, but the one that really got me, and I understand why the documentarians have to ask the question. The production crew, they're interviewing Stephen Jones, and they say to him, what's the succession plan for the Cowboys? And he looks at the camera and he says, my plan is to, and he stops and he halts. Yeah. He starts to get emotional, and he said, my plan is to enjoy every moment with my dad. And that one really got to me. But that's the kind of things, because whether you love the Jones family or whether you hate them, you may come out of this documentary viewing them a little differently. I would recommend you watch this documentary. And I'll turn it over to you, Ryan. I mean, there's a lot more I could say about it. They really do a good job. This is a great watch.
I like Charlotte. There, I said it. No, I give my thoughts about this documentary too. I could ramble on as well. We could have done a multi-part show like we did with The Last Dance, but no, we got to talk about this documentary in bits and pieces, because I have memories. I've been following football for a very long time. Like, I've been a fan since I was 4 years old, and it's going on 45 years since I started following football, playing it in the backyard with my brothers, learning how to catch and throw a football with a Nerf football, and kind of stepping up and graduating to actual footballs as I got older. But I remember the day Jerry Jones bought the Dallas Cowboys, or they announced that he bought the Dallas Cowboys. And who is this guy? Who do you think? I remember the Sam Donaldson interview and him talking to Diane Sawyer. Like, who is this guy think he is? He's going to ruin the Dallas Cowboys. He's doing things his own way. Pew, 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 pew. Yeehaw, shoot him up. But you also see his humble beginnings. You could see that he worked really hard. He worked his way onto his Arkansas. Coming back to this, the Arkansas Razorbacks team that won the national title in the 1960s. But we hear him talk about it all the time, but we didn't actually know he was a walk-on and earned his spot on the team.
Yeah.
We don't know about that. We also don't know about his thesis, his master's degree, his thesis about marketing in football. He was thinking years ahead of everybody else in football. Because remember, NFL, back in the day, back in the 60s, in the 50s, very conservative, very, very, I want to say low level, but, you get on television and everybody's very straight-laced, and everybody has the same everybody has the same socks, everybody has same socks pulled up, everybody has the same shoes. Nobody really has endorsement deals unless you're a big superstar. They didn't really market themselves well, but when they went on television, you saw the game for the first time and they say, oh, this is football. This is different than baseball. This is different from basketball. It's different. It's a different time then. But he was thinking years, decades, you could say, ahead of everybody else. Everybody who was an owner in the NFL at the time. He was thinking way ahead of everybody else on how to market the game, how to get companies to buy in. And fast forward into the 1990s, and he does that same thing with Nike, with Pepsi, with AT&T. He's taking that thesis he wrote, and he's putting it into action. And we had that dubious moment where he says, "Yeah, did your deal with Nike basically pay for Deion Sanders' contract?" And he's not going to deny it.
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, it did. What's wrong?" And the NFL took him to court. He took them to court. They
Yeah.
settled out of court, and here we are. And you could see the emotion when they basically said, when the NFL took him to court, I could lose my team.
Yeah.
And then, but they would go to the owners' meeting, and he wasn't allowed in. Before he walks out, he looks at everybody. Before he walks out the door, he says, I'm going to make sure I own every effing penny of yours. And he walks out the room.
Oh, yeah.
They sued him for $300 million. He countersued for $750 million.
Yeah. Yeah. And he said, if I lose this, I know you're going to take my team away from me. But if I win, I'm going to make sure you pay every effing penny.
Yep. But getting back to the time that he bought the team, and he thought, all right, I had to let go of Tom Landry. We got to go in a different direction. It's the new era of the Cowboys. And he does the same thing that any owner would do in his position. He wants to build this thing from the ground up. And they were literally at rock bottom when he owned the team. They had missed 3 consecutive playoff appearances. And this first year as an owner, they go 1-15. They lose their best receiver. Troy Aikman's the number 1 pick in the draft, and he's getting knocked loose. And
yeah,
Jimmy Johnson's kind of learning how to be a professional coach, not college coach. We already knew him from Oklahoma State and from University of Miami, where he won 2 or 3 national titles with the Hurricanes. But he was kind of learning how to be a professional football coach. And we saw how he ran his training camps. Kicked one guy out of training camp because he had asthma. He couldn't breathe. I have asthma. Asthma out my ass. Get out of here. And cut him right on the spot.
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap. This guy's not human. No, he wanted to win. He wanted to build his team and make them into winners. And Jerry had said to Jimmy, we're going to build this team. We're going to go back to back. We're going to win back-to-back Super Bowls. And within 5 years of purchasing the franchise, naming Jimmy Johnson as head coach, building this team, they went to not only 1 Super Bowl, but 2 Super Bowls, won them back to back, and eventually won a third. And I fully believe that if it weren't for that ugly start in the 1995 NFC Championship game, they would have won 4 consecutive Super Bowls.
Man. Yeah, unbelievable. And, Jimmy Johnson, there is multiple times where players basically, that team, they love Jimmy Johnson. Now, there's a lot of love for Barry Switzer in this too. And I wanted to make sure, because when I gave my general thoughts, I forgot to mention Barry Switzer. Sorry.
Yeah.
But Barry comes in to coach after Jimmy and Jerry. They just can't separate their differences. Jerry's not getting enough credit, he feels, for building the team. Jimmy's like, I built this team. Their relationship was fractured beyond.
They were still bickering about who took credit for the Herschel Walker trade.
Yes. Yes.
30 years later.
Yeah. So many years later. My goodness. And that was one of my favorite parts of the Stevens impression of his dad. He's like, that's the problem. I was like, what are you doing, Steven? But anyway, Barry Switzer is somebody who I initially, and I put it in my notes, I was like, what the heck is Barry Switzer doing? Like, he comes off like a bumpkin in this, like an idiot. I'm like, some of the way he handled the media, some of the quotes.
He comes off like a stereotypical college coach.
Yeah, and
still does.
And I'm like, man, this guy was not the right. First of all, my mind was blown. I did not know that it's that Razorback connection again that Jerry keeps going back to. I did not know that he was Jimmy and Jerry's coach for the team. I didn't know that. That blew my mind. But Barry Switzer, the story that he tells about his mom and what happened and everything else, my opinion on Barry Switzer flipped over the course of this documentary. If you saw my early notes, I was shredding Switzer. I'm like, man, he won with Jimmy's players. Like, look at the way he's dealing with the media. But Barry Switzer cared about his players. There's no denying that. Jimmy Johnson, in his own way, cared about his players because they all loved him. Michael Irvin says at the end of it, if I found someone to clear me, and if Jimmy Johnson was still coaching the team, I'd have gone back and played. I wouldn't have. He was one hit away. But that just shows how much they all love Jimmy. And everyone, with the exception of Troy, you could tell how much they love Barry Switzer. Yeah. And I thought it was the documentary's power that my thoughts on Barry Switzer completely shifted by the end of it. And say what you want about him, but Jerry Jones cares about winning, and he cares about his players as human beings. Mm-hmm. There are multiple times where Jerry steps up to support his players, and it was nice to see those Cowboy teams, because when I was younger, I despised them. I'm like, these guys are cocky. They stood up for each other. They supported each other. Yeah, they had some problems, but they came to bat for everybody. And man, I can't say it again. Watch this documentary, please.
Yeah, the first 3 episodes, the first 3 or 4 episodes, I'd say the first 3 episodes where they purchase of the team, drafting Troy Aikman, drafting Michael Irvin, drafting Emmett, getting the trade, the trade details, the details of the trade that I never knew about. I just thought it was a straight up, all right, Herschel Walker to the Cowboys for these players and these picks. Wait, there's a lot more behind the scenes of what this trade was about, and they absolutely fleeced the Vikings.
Oh my goodness.
From that trade. And I think the ramifications are still going on. The Vikings, I mean, we talk about teams and their pain. The Vikings are a special kind of pain.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the one thing, and at the end of episode 3, where they are talking to Jimmy and to Jerry at the owners meeting, all the Cowboys coaches are having a drink together, having a good time. And Jerry walks up to the table. And he's had a few, like you do at an owners meeting. Walks up to the table and says, "How about them toast to their Cowboys?" And three of the coaches raise their drink, they raise their glass to Jerry, and Jimmy's just sitting there like this. And Jerry took offense to that.
Yeah.
And he tells the reporter, now, I don't know how in the bag he is at this point, but he looks at Ed Werder, the other reporter, and says, "I got a story for you tomorrow. Stay tuned."
Yeah.
Now, again, I don't know how inebriated he is at this point, but then we find out they have meetings and they can't coexist. It's that old wrestling trope with 2 tag team partners get put together. Can they coexist?
And Brutus the Beefcake is trying to mediate at the barbershop, you know?
Yep. And then Jerry Jones, like Shawn Michaels, kicks Marty Jannetty, a.k.a. Jimmy Johnson, in the jaw and throws him through the glass of the barbershop. I will say this about Barry Switzer. Yes, another guy who comes off as like, yeah, he's taking credit. He's basically coaching Jimmy's team, this and that, yada, yada. But he also, and like you mentioned, Dustin, he comes off as very likable. Like, I would love to sit down and have he doesn't drink. I would like to have a Dr. Pepper with him.
Yeah, yeah.
But here's the thing that I'm surprised that the producers didn't go back to Barry about. We talk about his strained relationship with Troy Aikman.
Yes.
And Troy's telling the story about how, and now again, we don't know if this is true.
Yeah.
We only have his word to the documentarians, where he basically says, I've heard you, where Barry tells Troy that he doesn't think he thinks he doesn't throw to his black receivers enough, or gives credits to his black teammates enough. And then he had this whole thing about Troy Aikman being a racist, which was and again, I would have loved to hear Barry Switzer's side of the story. They never ask him to refute the story. You never hear about it again.
Yeah.
And you hear about, then they go to the Super Bowl. They beat Green Bay in the championship game. They go to the Super Bowl. They win that game, but we had the whole hyperbole headline grabbing stuff about Troy Aikman possibly being a racist, which
Every
Irvin,
Cowboys teammate, they all said,
all his
"No."
Cowboys teammates were like, if he were a racist, he would have never thrown to me.
Yeah.
He would have just thrown to Jay Novacek all the time. He
It
would
was
never handed me the ball.
Michael Irvin was the best. He goes, they tried to ask him about it, and he's like, "Get that out of here, man." Like he didn't even. He's like, I'm not even gonna talk about that. Now there is one small part where they went back. I can't remember how they weaved it into Barry, but it's so small. All Barry says, all they get him to say is he said they tried to backhanded get into it by asking him if he had any regrets of his Cowboys tenure or something like that. Mm-hmm. And he says, my relationship with Troy Aikman is one thing I wish I'd handled better. Yeah. And that's it. That's it. Yep. They don't get into it at all. Yep. So I agree with you there. They should have gone back to him.
Yeah. So they win the Super Bowl in 96. They get absolutely pounded into the ground by the Panthers in the divisional playoff the following season. You could tell the cracks are starting to show in the foundation. This team's getting older. This team's getting, and you can see in that game against the Panthers, everybody's leaving the field. Emmett leaves the field. Irvin leaves the field. Dion leaves the field. All banged up and injured. They got beat up in that game. I remember that game. They absolutely got beat up. And then Michael Irvin gets the sting. The sting operation. That whole trial, his subsequent suspension, that and then his retirement after getting his head driven into the ground at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. That was the beginning of the end for this dynasty.
Yeah, for sure.
The spotlight fades on him, and the spotlight fades on Troy. The last one standing of that dynasty is Emmett. He winds up getting released. He goes to the Cardinals for 2 seasons. Yeah, remember Emmett Smith as a Cardinal?
I do.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And the spotlight fades on him. He signs a 1-day contract with the Cowboy, officially retires. The spotlight fades on him. And like you said, Dustin, that was a very good visual effect for everyone to see. The lights coming down and the lights fading away. That act has ended on their careers. And we still see Jerry to this day. Builds that huge stadium in Irving, Texas. He's making money. He's getting deals for the NFL, television deals. He's the one who had a hand in that Fox deal. That I remember that sent shockwaves throughout the sports landscape when Fox paid over $1 billion for the NFL for the NFL in 1994.
Yeah, I mean that was Fox was an upstart for our younger viewers. You can't overstate this enough. Fox was nothing. They were considered, and they get into it a little bit in the documentary. They were considered like a fledgling, quote unquote, lowbrow network, because it had Married with Children, The Simpsons, which my mom wouldn't let me watch until I got to a certain age, So it was one of those things, but I remember that. And honestly, my fandom of the NFL kind of coincides with Fox's rise as the NFL. As a younger viewer, their presentation appealed more to me. I always thought CBS felt older. That was always my read on it.
They were losing money. They were losing a ton of money.
Yeah.
At that point. And then now we have the NFL on pretty much all 4 networks now, which was pretty cool. So
yeah.
So for me, if you have Netflix and you're an NFL fan, even if you hate the Cowboys, I recommend you seeing this documentary.
Fire it up. It's a good one. And I got to say, Ryan, I'll be darned. It humanizes Jerry Jones a little bit, because us as football fans, all we see is like he doesn't know what he's doing. He's lost it. Why is he's his own GM? He's not great. But when he's up in that box and they're getting absolutely dismantled by Green Bay, you could see he's living and dying with it. And the way that he reacts, he slumps in his chair and he just says, you can't help but feel for him in that moment.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Dustin and I give our thumbs up for this documentary. We wholeheartedly recommend it. Again, even if you're not a Dallas Cowboys fan, even if you're not a football fan, if you're a sports fan, check it out. It's a good watch. All right, we're going to depart. So thank you for joining this Thanksgiving special for No Credentials Required. Again, we'll be live Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern for our regular show. And this will be also be on the Belly Up Sports YouTube channel a bit later. So to conclude this Thanksgiving special, we're going to give the opportunity to some of our content creators here at Belly Up Sports to tell you what they're thankful for. So thanks for watching the No Credentials Required Thanksgiving special on Belly Up Sports. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy yourselves with your family. Enjoy the football. We'll see you on Saturday.
Good morning or good night, everybody, depending on when you're watching.
And
happy Thanksgiving.
What's going on, everybody? It's DJ with the High Low Sports Podcast, and I'm very thankful this Thanksgiving for all of you who take the time out of your day to tune into any of our shows on Belly Up Sports, to partake in the sports Discord. It's a large world. There's a lot of different sports content out there, and I'm very grateful and appreciative that you all trust us to spend a few minutes of the day to partake in the discourse when it comes to sports with us, for good, for bad, for ugly, and everything in between. Very thankful for all of you. Wish you all a very happy holiday season, a happy Thanksgiving, and be sure to wear the stretchy pants. Thank you all so much.
Hey guys, it's Hector from Insert MFC. I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. What I'm grateful for is honestly you guys taking the time to listen to the shows that we have here at Belly Up Sports and at Insert MFC. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. On top of that, I'm also thankful for my family and my friends, and of course the beautiful game that is soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. So from the bottom of my heart, happy Thanksgiving. Whether you're eating turkey or, for me, tamales, I wish you the best.
What's going on, y'all? Jared from the Corner Booth Podcast here. I want to wish all y'all a happy Thanksgiving from all of us at the Corner Booth. 3 things I'm obviously thankful for are my faith, my friends, family, and of course the great sport of football. Y'all have a happy Thanksgiving.
Hey, it's Kels from the High Sports Podcast. I got a lot of great things to be thankful for. I'm sure many of us do. With my friends, family. Got a great co-host, DJ, and also a lot of great friends over here at the network, Belly Up Sports. I'm thankful for them. Most importantly, though, thankful for all of you guys, all you viewers, all you listeners out there. You guys help make what we do mean something. So we thank you for that. Hope you and your family have a safe Thanksgiving.
What's up? Kev from Tailgate in the Quad, just here to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. I'm actually about to go visit some family myself, hence why I'm in my car. I got a lot to be thankful for this year. My wife, first off and foremost, who supports me and basically planning our week around podcasting and content creation. Drake, May, got to be number 2 on that list. Just made the Patriots watchable, and I love him for that. And finally, everyone at Belly Up Sports and all the people who watch, listen, like, and support our content in any way. Y'all are the best, and we appreciate you. So everyone enjoy your Thanksgiving. And if you get sick of your family, just check out some Belly Up content. We got old content, new content, whether you like football, hockey, basketball, soccer, whatever you like, we got it. So that'll be a nice way to distract yourself from Thanksgiving if it ends up being a disaster.
Hey everyone, Kevin Wilson here from Belly Up Fantasy Live and Seahawk Sessions, and I just wanted to take a moment to give thanks to the Lord for my wife, my family, and for Him looking out for us each and every day. And I just want to say to everyone out there, everyone have a happy and safe Thanksgiving. Enjoy your holiday, and thank you so much for watching.
Hey guys, Nate here from the 3rd and 10 podcast. A couple things I'm thankful for this Thanksgiving are, of course, my family and the friends that I've made this year, working again with the Corner Booth podcast as a producer. And also, honestly, the Giants on their way to a top 10 draft pick for this upcoming draft. And I just want to wish you guys a happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays as well.
Hey, this is Stacey Morgan from the Morgan Man Sports Podcast. Guys, happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving. I am thankful for 3 things. 1, the Lord above. 2, my family. They mean the world to me. And 3rd, is this podcasting opportunity that I've been presented with by Belly Up for exposure with the Falcons and esports content each and every single Friday. So those are the 3 things I'm thankful for. Guys, what are you thankful for?
Hello, everybody. It's Dustin from No Credentials Required. And what better day than today to tell you what I'm thankful for? I'm most thankful for podcasting because I have the opportunity to meet new people. There's friends I know now from podcasting that I never would have met. And I'm thankful to everybody that watches and listens. You're the reason we do the show. And of course, I am most thankful to be able to spend time with my friends and family and those who I love. I'm thankful that I have a roof over my head. And I'm thankful to spend time with my dad. I lost my mother 8 years ago, and I'm glad that my dad's still around, and I'm happy I get to spend time with him. I hope that you tell your parents that you love them. Let the people in your life know that you love them. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Hey everyone, it's Ryan from the No Credentials Required podcast at Belly Up Sports. Just want to wish everyone a very happy, safe, and healthy Thanksgiving. Praise the Lord above for all good things, particularly the freedom to create content for the sport of football and the faith that I have. Also for my family, my friends, my great friend and podcast co-host Dustin, many other of my friends and brothers, my sisters out there. So happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy yourselves out there.